You're right there.
Hello and welcome to Before We Break Up Again, a podcast with me, Alfie Brown, and her, Jessie Cave, that we will do every week before we break up again. It's episode 7, and on the agenda today is, well, it's very late at night, and we're going on holiday tomorrow, and we're very, very excited. We cover a variety of different themes, and I have to say, it's a very good episode. I think so, that's true. So they can just listen and they can make up their minds for themselves. But that's what I firmly believe about the episode, is that it is quite good. I've made a mental note of at least 3 key, quite funny moments.
I corrected you a few too many times, so I just want to say sorry in advance if you're listening to this, especially if you're any of Alfie's friends who are quite critical of me.
And also she does her sorry sir thing, which is to make me look bad. It's funny.
I like doing that, and I do that at home, so why wouldn't I do it on the podcast?
Why not? And if you are watching on YouTube, then subscribe and like and do all the stuff that helps that out. And if you haven't followed our Instagram, then please follow our Instagram at Before We Break Up Again. Leave a review on whichever platform that you listen. Most of it's on Spotify, but some of you it's on the Apple thing, and just all the reviews and everything. You've left so many nice ones, and it really, really helps. So thank you so much to everybody who does that. I can feel Jessie looking at me as if to say, you're being inauthentic, Alfie. And yes, I'm not being inauthentic, but I am trying to add some broadcast luster to the introduction, because it is so incredibly lacking from the main substance of the podcast. Just see for yourself. This is Before We Break Up Again.
That was too long. What was that?
I'm just writing down the time so I know when to cut in.
So here we are. Saturday night, we're doing a podcast.
It's a particularly tired one, I have to say.
You're very tired.
Are you not tired?
No.
Why not?
Because I've slept quite well this week.
Have you?
Yeah. Slept quite well this week, apart from maybe one night. And actually, even one morning, I woke up naturally at 6 a.m. It was insane. That has never happened. We all were awake before 7 naturally. Crazy. Because you've been away, I've been going to bed earlier. That's why I'm fine.
I haven't been away.
Oh yeah, the one night you went away, I went to bed early.
I've been here all week.
And we're tired because we've been chained to Married at First Sight Australia.
Well, that and just, very early rising. Very, very early rising.
I've been putting you to work, haven't I?
Yeah. Yeah. And you say, Alfie, can you help me, please? Which I hate so much, because it makes it sound like the parenting I'm doing is not genuine parenting. It's at your service rather than the service of the family or the children.
Well, what should I say then?
Can you, Alfie, could you get so-and-so's leggings on? Alfie, could you brush so-and-so's teeth? Alfie, could you get that for me?
Okay, I'll try that.
Just like it.
I need some help. I need some help in here.
Help me! Alfie, will you help me, please?
I need help.
I mean, it is fair enough that you would say it like that to me, because you say it to me in a circumstance when I'm not helping or being helpful. So there is a certain level of fair to it. But
what I do is I always think, no, I can do this by myself. It's easy. I can do this by myself. And then something happens where like someone splats toothpaste on the other one, or they punch each other in the stomach, or something flips, or I look at the time and it's actually later than I thought. Yeah. And then I just flip and I go, I need help. And that's when I call you.
Yeah.
What I should do is, if you help me from the beginning, then it'd be a lot quicker. But I'm just so determined sometimes just to prove that I can do it all on my own.
Yes.
I don't need a man.
Well, especially when there's something else to do. Like I suppose a lot of the times that you say, can I help you? I'm in the middle of doing the last thing that is in the service of so I'm cooking dinner for us.
Yeah.
Very often. And you'll go, can you help me? And I go, well, I don't want to burn this halibut.
It is usually when have we ever had halibut?
Well,
it's halibut.
I watched I watched a video on how to
It
cook
is.
halibut.
Why are you laughing?
Okay. I watched a video on how to cook halibut earlier.
Okay,
and
no, sorry. Are you joking?
No, that was funny and you can leave it. What?
Okay, well, I didn't know.
Are you doing a bit?
No, I am not. It's halibut.
I'm pretty sure it's halibut.
Halibut. It's French. Halibut.
And maybe in France they call it halibut.
Halibut.
But in France they call England like Angleterre.
Okay.
Like it's all a whole different.
When have you ever had halibut?
I like halibut and I like fish. And are you doing a thing? Are you being funny?
I was. Now I feel self-conscious because I was, but then I continued it for too long. This is a failure. But I also do think it is halibut in some places. Halibut, Malibu.
Yeah. Plaice. That's another fish.
Yeah, I won't do another joke. Sorry. I won't ever do a joke again. Ever.
No, I wasn't sure because sometimes you get
mean.
you do get the names of things wrong, don't you?
No, sometimes I am stupid for just like effect.
Right. Okay. But
but by you calling it out, it's quite embarrassing.
Well, no. If you take the time to actually,
Sorry.
Could I have that Lego hair, please?
Sorry.
Could I have the Lego hair, please? Could I have the Lego hair, please?
Don't lose it. It's my favorite.
I won't lose the Lego hair. You need to give me the Lego
Thor's
hair.
hair.
It's Thor's hair. Okay. I've got Thor's hair now.
In your pocket.
I've got Thor's hair and it's not going to be fiddled with or anxiously stared at throughout the duration of this podcast.
I'm not anxious at all. And I know I'm not anxious because I've done my PMDD questionnaire. Just submitted it. So I know I'm actually, today has all been not at all, which is a very good day.
Are you feeling calm? Not at all. Have you been reasonable today? Not at all.
No, they're never any kind of...
Did you compromise today? Not at all.
No, they're all skewed to bad things.
No, I'm with you. I know that.
Have you felt suicidal today? Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mild?
Mm-hmm.
Moderate?
Right.
Severe? Extreme? Today I've been not at all for all.
Can you feel extremely suicidal and be alive? I would say that if you feel extremely suicidal, you can't really feel extremely suicidal for that long. If it's extreme.
I don't want to talk about suicide. Okay, just stop banging on about suicide.
The first 5 minutes of this podcast have been a roller coaster. From fish names to PMDD questionnaires to
suicide. You didn't play along with halibut. And that's like perfect, like couple podcast fodder. She's stupid. He kind of thinks it's funny. And then they can rant about, I was going to kill 5 minutes but you had to be, this is why we can't.
You think that's most couples podcasts is that she's stupid. He kind of thinks it's funny.
That genuinely is all the podcast.
That isn't. I think actually a lot of the time it's the man being stupid and the woman going,
fine.
Oh, men, they're so tiresome, but I suppose we put up with it because it's the only way that we can procreate.
No, a lot of the couples podcasts it's mainly mansplaining.
Okay.
From what I've listened to.
Look, the thing is, if you care to watch back the podcast yourself later in your free time, what you will discover is that you said halibut and I laughed because I thought it was a joke. And then you looked sort of confused and you said, oh, but isn't it halibut? And that is when I stopped thinking you were joking. Because
I know what happened. Why are you trying to explain?
Because you said you didn't play along, but I did. I laughed at the joke and then you said...
No, you didn't play along because you then, after a minute, you were like, are you being stupid on purpose?
Yeah, because I didn't know.
Oh, right, okay,
It was an honest inquiry.
Okay, cool. I know, but you should know. Of course I know it's... Well, I actually don't know it's halibut. It sounds wrong.
Halibut. Do you think it's like the watch brand Hublot? With the silent T on the end.
I've never heard of that watch brand.
Hublot. There's a Stormzy lyric about it. So, well, Hublot, not a Hublot. What? Pronounce it right, you prick.
Okay.
It's
don't do that again.
I'm not sure that I should, no.
Just don't.
Now that I've done it.
Yeah.
So let's call it 1-1 on the podcast mishaps so far.
But I do think that's really interesting, the fact that you couldn't even just play along and be acting dumb for a second. You had to be like, no, let's be authentic.
No, I didn't. That's not what I was doing. That's a mischaracterization. I was simply and honestly and with an open heart inquiring into the veracity of your
Fish
halibut
knowledge.
query. Yeah, your fish knowledge, yes.
Okay, cool. Well,
have you planned a good podcast for us this
no,
evening,
I haven't.
Jessie?
I haven't. I think this will be
Quite ramshackle?
This will be quite ramshackle because our son has just interviewed us for 10 minutes at the beginning, and we wanted him to.
I might see if there's a way to include some of the clips.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I
so
think
the listener might already have heard it, but might not, depending on how talented I am.
Right. I think it's been quite a busy week. I feel very spun out. How do you feel?
I feel otherworldly tired and on a journey, and it's not something I'm particularly proud of speaking about, to lose some weight, to elongate my life. Having cut out an entire food group for 10 days, feeling appalling, then getting on the scales and realizing I'd lost a grand total of 0 pounds. I do feel, as I reflect on it, a great deal of spite towards that diet and its key proponents.
How did that happen? How did you not lose? Did you just stay still for 10 days?
No, I didn't. I had no carbs before marbs, which is of course short for no carbohydrate before marbohydrate. I then I didn't lose any weight, and I just don't know how I did it. I think it must be the most Caesar dressing that any one human has ever consumed.
And the biggest bowls. You've had big bowls of that.
Of salad, yeah.
Yeah.
More salad than the human stomach can realistically contain. So that wasn't a success. So now I've been, in the bluff old tradition of weight loss, counting the calories. And it's a lot better.
Mm. Well, for those 10 days that you did that, I did kind of dislike you.
Yes.
You were horrible. You weren't horrible, but you're just different when you're calorie negative. I am calorie
negative right now, and I think I'm a bundle of fun. I've been nice tonight.
Yeah.
And today.
Yeah, you have actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
when you don't have carbs, you're a dick.
Yes, and I think that might be true of anybody, and I do apologise for that, but it is with
you keep swallowing.
Because otherwise there will be a build-up of saliva in my mouth, and the listener will be able to hear it sloshing around in there.
Okay.
Some people have to swallow.
Okay.
Some people have a kind of catarrh build-up, and you can hear the ball of phlegm reverberating at the back of their throat when they podcast.
No, please. Oh, that's disgusting.
Right.
When I listen to some podcasts, I can hear the dry mouth thing.
Right. I'm going to stay in the pocket of the conversation.
Dry mouth.
Nope. I'm going to go back to this carb calorie conundrum that we've been enduring all week.
This is fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun?
I am having fun, but I need you to just let me
do
this podcast. So I think being able to eat a sandwich, one of life's great pleasures, I'm sure everyone can agree.
Absolutely not. They're disgusting.
Fun fact about Jessie, she's never had a packaged sandwich.
I've barely ever had a sandwich.
Jessie doesn't eat sandwiches or pasta.
They freak me out.
So every single message that this podcast has ever had, and Jessie as a singular entity has ever received saying, "What's your secret? You have such great skin." The answer is no sandwiches or pasta.
I just
barely any grains in her diet, really.
Grains?
Yeah, you don't have grains, really.
You cook me rice.
I sometimes cook you rice, and you can absolutely put it away.
You give me 3 times
Yeah, because it's once every 3 days that you eat rice. So I try to give you 3 days worth. And my, are you grateful for that? So anyway, I'm feeling quite tired, I think, because of the my calorie negative situation. But I would also say that I'm feeling a lot more sprightly and mentally clear than I was when I was in a carb vacant situation. And it's just my patience, really. I can't bear the idea that you've got to do this for fucking 2 months to see any difference. Ugh. I sort of go, if I don't eat for a week, can I just get it done in that amount of time?
Yeah, but it won't ever last. Yeah, it's really interesting because I definitely have not instigated this for you, but I've definitely said,
if you don't lose weight and be less fat, I'm going to break up with you.
Alfie, I did not say you can't joke
Miss
about that.
Halibut, suddenly we can't joke anymore, can we?
Yeah, but that's a very, you didn't say it in a jokey way. You said it in a very
didn't say Halibut in a jokey way. 2-1 to me. Now,
no, I don't want you to die.
No, I know you don't.
And your dad just died.
Well, that's true.
And I don't want you to die young. And I think that you are really unfit. I would actually prefer you not to lose any weight and you to just get like super fit. But you seem to have a problem with just moving.
Yeah, but I do move. It's just that cardio and running and swimming is so exhausted when you've got this giant barrel body. It's not a giant barrel body.
It's
just bigger than I'm used to being. And I look, I know, I understand. I know what you want from me. I just know that it'll be a lot easier for me to get fit once I'm not having to drag this fucking torso around the gym.
I just don't even know if it's worth it. It'd be so great. Would you do a test if it was available and free? Would you, if a doctor could tell you, right, okay, cool. If you keep going like this, you're going to die at 57. Would you, or if they said to you, okay, if you keep going as you are, you'll die at 75. So yeah.
What's as I am?
Well, like just,
Drinking,
I don't even know because it's not like you're a fucking, you just do what you want. You just drink what you want. It gets into bad patches when you go through like more alcohol, I guess.
Yeah. So like I'd say if you were to map it out with a degree of regularity, I'd say I probably have, I drink maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I'm saying if you would work out averages here, because it does go in fits and starts, and then binge drink maybe once or twice a month.
Yeah. If you were left your own, I wasn't in the picture.
I'd be dead.
Whenever we have been broken up, you have been basically an alcoholic.
If not an alcoholic, then I've certainly lived similarly to one. Yeah.
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 That's crazy to me. I'm so jealous of the fact that you could escape. You could escape from yourself when we were broken up. I had to just breastfeed.
Yes. Well, then that has its own addictive properties and chemical releases that help.
Yeah, and I had a little baby with me.
Yeah.
Whereas so you were just fucking random women. Yeah.
There's a lot of, yes, but I think there's probably more of an oxytocin release in what you're doing. I was getting dopamine. You were getting the oxytocin. Oxytocin being the love hormone or chemical that gets released in the brain. And I hope I've got that right. And dopamine being, I think it gets confused with happiness, but it's just it's something that has some kind of motivational property, or something that gets released when you're satisfied or something. Yeah,
and you need to keep having the dopamine hits to feel happy.
Right. It's different to serotonin, which is the happy one. The serotonin, the happy one. Dopamine, the will, your human sense of will, purpose and drive one. And then oxytocin, your love one. Yeah, but does the oxytocin then disappear? Do you need to keep having the baby suck your boob to get the oxytocin, or does it go in? You get a rush of oxytocin when the baby latches on and the milk is released. Yeah, I don't know. Why don't you know? Well, because it's not really in my. I've got a lot of books, but I'm not sure that that's really covered in any of them. I mean, obviously, you do want to keep doing it, and you have wanted to keep breastfeeding because it does give you deep satisfaction and a sense of spiritual and existential connection to whatever it is, being alive and love and creation and the beauty of human life.
To a certain extent, but it was also laziness in lots of ways. It's just easier to breastfeed. So much easier.
Yeah.
The baby can just sleep. You can sleep when the baby's breastfeeding, and you don't have to heat a bottle and sterilize a teat. And you just it's just way easier. And it's very natural, the whole thing. And I mean, you could go on breastfeeding for years. But
that's what they're trying to do. To circle back to our rather troubling married at first sight habit. The experts, and I use that word without any respect for it, really, and what it actually means. The experts will encourage couples who are having problems feeling something for each other or connecting. They will get them to hug each other for a minute, and then these rather repressed people, often men, will go, fucking hell, that feels so good to hug. I need to leave the room for a minute. And then they'll have to go and have a word with themselves because they've allowed...
God, it's so tragic, that actually. Just think how many people would be so much nicer if they just had a hug.
Yeah. So, but what I mean is it's separate to dopamine. Like we hug and we release oxytocin, but it's not dopamine because you're not going, let's hug again.
Yeah.
Let's get that.
Yeah.
Let's have another hug.
Well, maybe what we haven't done enough in the last 10 days is hug.
We hug all the time.
We do hug all the time, but when we're in a patch where there's circumstantial problems, like...
We don't hug when I'm not eating carbohydrate.
Yeah, we don't hug when
There's a very strong link between my carbohydrate intake
my carbohydrate.
Jessie,
sorry.
If you hadn't picked up on it, nobody would have noticed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Now you've drawn attention. I could feel myself stumbling over the words as well.
Go on, say it again.
There's a direct link between my carbohydrate intake and the amount that we hug.
Yeah. Oh no, I've pissed you off again, haven't I?
You haven't pissed me off.
I'm sorry, sir.
Jessie.
I'm so sorry. I pissed you off.
You didn't. Are you excited?
Hang on, no, I need to circle back because just get off me. I just would like to publicly state that I don't give a shit if you're, who's somebody who's like, I can't even think of somebody who's got like, a superhero body. I don't give a shit if you're that or...
Well, I'm not going to get a superhero body because the only way to get a superhero body is to take steroids.
Okay, cool.
And if the one thing that you want from me is a longer life, then there's something that I...
Do they affect lifespan?
Yes.
Really?
Negatively.
Yeah, I assumed that. Otherwise, everyone would be fucking on them.
You'd look like Thor and live to 98.
So I don't need you to look like Thor, and I also don't care if you, are. I care if you're. I just care about your inner health.
I know.
And I also think that you're happier when you're focused and you're driven for a project, or you're doing lots of gigs and you're writing and you're doing all the things that make you kind of creatively feel fulfilled, and that you tend to be doing better in those things when you're also being quite like boring. And that's a really difficult thing for you to weigh up because you are really good at having fun too. But that doesn't help, I don't think, your work, how you work. Whereas I am not good at having fun.
Well,
it's easy for me to be quite healthy.
Yeah, I understand. Also, it's very easier to get things done and be motivated and move around and be helpful and lively and interact with other people and go around Brockley Park and look at all the dogs and name the breeds and whatnot. Like when you're not, like I'm probably like 10 kilograms overweight. That's like I'm carrying around an extra 5-year-old all the time on my person.
Yeah.
So no wonder you get like more tired when you're overweight. It's because you got all that fucking extra to carry around. And I feel that. And I was speaking to my brother because my brother in just over a year ago weighed 100 kilograms.
Oh my God, really?
Mm-hmm.
He
weighed 100 kilograms. He now weighs...
he doesn't look like he could possibly even ever weigh that. He's not that... How tall is he?
5'9".
Fucking hell.
And now he weighs 74 or 5 or something. And he said that he just has more energy in himself every day. It's an incredibly, in a world of life hacks and preachers extolling the virtue of various diets and lifestyle choices that completely recalibrate all the chemicals in your being and your spirit, and it all points you in the right direction to start the business and be the entrepreneur that you've always dreamed of. It's almost crass, and it feels shameful to speak about these things because it immediately aligns you to the sort of men on the internet who are responsible essentially for the election of Donald Trump, not directly. But yeah, it is what I'm trying to do.
Okay. So
have you ever tried to lose weight for anything? Have you ever done that? Your goal's always just been fitness, isn't it?
No, my whole life I've just, yeah.
You never weigh yourself, so it's not
I would never weigh myself, yeah. But that's because I had an eating disorder when I was a teenager, so I had, I've got that embedded into me.
Yeah.
But in the last 5 years, I've been actively enjoying
cake,
like feeling muscly and stuff.
I've been actively enjoying you being muscly as well.
And so I don't really, when I see really, really thin, when I see photos of me when I've like been really thin, now I find that quite like off-putting.
And if you want to follow Jessie's journey into being a muscle mommy, then you can follow her new Instagram page, Muscle Mummy at...
Okay, that's a joke. It
is a joke.
Anyway, let's talk about maths. Let's have some fun now talking about maths. Let's just talk about maths. Let's just talk shit about maths.
Okay.
And I know lots of people don't watch it, but why do you think we're never in a particularly good phase when we're watching maths either?
I don't think, we always say that, but I'm not sure that it's true. Now, maths is Married at First Sight.
Australia is the only one that's worth watching.
I think the UK is also worth watching. It's a Danish concept for a program, although it has become a global phenomenon. And because we're all very insular, there's lots of different English-speaking versions of it, Australian English. There's an American Married at First Sight that we've never even tapped into. And because of broadcast...
No, we have.
We've never watched the American one.
No, we have. That's the one where they had the Christians... Mm-hmm. The Christians who he was a virgin, and then
that was Australia.
Oh, okay.
And it does sound American, and I think he might have been American.
He might have been American,
but I think there have been Americans on programs, whereas actually, yeah.
Okay, sorry, sir.
That's okay. Don't let it happen again, though. Okay. Slut.
Mormon slut.
Yes, the Mormon slut in my area. Yeah, it doesn't. I think actually maths, it isn't that we watch it when we're in a bad place. It's that when we watch it, we don't feel like we're in a very good place.
I just feel slightly dirty for watching it.
Yes, I do feel like it's increasing my chances of getting dementia when I'm older. And I'm in a bad rut right now with reading. I'm not reading anything that's actually kind of making me excited. I'm just because everything's just been so kind of crazy with the start of OnlyFans. Yeah. I've massively overshot with Dostoevsky.
I've gone from reading a classic book to reading a modern hit.
Edith Warburton.
Yeah. To reading The House of Mirth, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like I had to underline everything. I just can't believe how many words there are in that I just didn't know. And I still don't know. And then I've gone to now reading a modern hit, like one about video games. Tomorrow. And it's obviously brilliant and amazing, but it's just nowhere near the level of the writing of, they're both brilliant, but I'm just not inspired. And that's kind of dulled me slightly. And now because we're watching maths too, and because all my time is spent either with the kids, which is just kind of like using a different part of my brain, because it's like, what are they eating for dinner? What time am I getting them up? Where are their clothes? Brush their teeth. Like it's very, I can do that kind of using a completely different part of my brain to the side of the brain, which is used for, messaging some men on OnlyFans, writing this, Substack thing, trying to do this self-tape, or it's a completely different side of my brain. So that when, I don't feel like I don't have any freedom in my brain to actually really think.
Yeah. Yes, I completely understand what you mean. And I think it's worse living in this smaller environment, because I think life would be easier to organize, and you could take the stresses of this organization off yourself if you could physically compartmentalize these things easier in a larger home. So hopefully these problems will be less when we move.
It's like it's our 3-year-old's birthday today. We've had such a nice day. And oh God, sorry. That was saliva.
It was acid. Saliva. It was acid reflux.
Yeah, that was...
sorry, Jessie just had some reflux. Carry on, Jessie.
Oh, God. Okay, it was our 3-year-old's birthday today. Can we actually cut that? 41?
No.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck off. It was our 3-year-old's 3rd birthday today, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was our 2-year-old's 3rd birthday today.
Come on, Jessie, let's get snappy.
Shut up, Alfie.
Come on.
I'm going to bed in 15 minutes.
You're not. We're watching The White Lotus.
Oh, no, I don't want to, because everyone likes it and I don't like things that people like.
Well, everybody hates Yellow Jackets. Let's watch that then.
Yeah, okay. It was his birthday today, and it was such a lovely day. And so many beautiful things were said. And I remember as it was happening, I was just like, I'm not going to remember any of this because I'm just so busy in my brain. Did you feel like that?
No.
Oh.
I thought I will remember this. But then I think actually when you get older, when he is 12 and we're in our 40s, then his birthdays will go. Which one was that? Oh, that was his 3rd birthday. We went to Brockley Park. That was nice.
Brockwell. I didn't correct you the first time, but I'm going to correct you this time.
Okay, yeah.
Brockwell.
Brockwell Park, not Brockley Park.
Brockwell.
Yeah. I've never been there before. It's gorgeous.
It is really nice.
I went to my friend Olivia's birthday party in the Arches about 15 years ago.
The Arches?
Yeah, underneath the Arches, where I dream my dreams away.
Where are the Arches? I didn't see any arches.
Well, do you know the railway line that goes overhead?
No.
Well, you do, because we took the train there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Right. Oh, and the Arches are not in the park.
We went to a coffee shop in one of the Arches.
Yeah, I really liked that. That was cool.
Another one of the Arches was a space that they rented for parties.
This coffee shop, as you went in, had snacks available to buy, obviously. They weren't free. And there was a stack of
Tunnock's caramel wafers. One of the great treats available on the market right now. They were stacked as a giant Jenga tower. And the second we walked in, our 4-year-old and 3-year-old just immediately went, Jenga, and pulled one out. They didn't say, Jenga. They said, I want one. Can I have one? Pulled one out of the middle of the tower. It went falling forwards into the coffee machine and into the nooks and the crannies of the various coffee making apparatus.
It was so funny, and there was nothing we could have done to stop them doing this. But what was amazing is that the baristas, their faces just, they were so fucking pissed off and just like, right, can you move, please?
All of them skinny and androgynous with mullets and woodcut tattoos.
Can you move, please? No, please, can you move? So, sorry, it was a giant Jenga thing. What were we meant to do with it? Where were you actually meant to get the thing from?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then on the train, the little train.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. So
the train.
What happened was there's a little train that goes in Brockwell Park. Brockwell Park. It goes up and down from one side of the Lido to the other side. And we saw it chugging along. and our 4-year-old ran towards it and had to be stopped before the train collided with him.
Wait. Because he had previously crossed the rail. And so we had already kind of told him off about that.
Yeah.
So we had been like, no, come back. And then again, he went to bear in mind, I went to that park a week ago as well. And I promised him that he could go on the train.
Right. The operator of the train, as it was about to collide with our child, shook her head and went, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like it was, like she was driving her Audi A4 past a traffic lights that had ceased to be a green man some time ago, and she was, "What's this person doing crossing the road here?"
And kind of
ridiculous,
tutted and scowled at him.
Tutted and scowled at a 4-year-old, not even for being in the way, but just for being a bit too close. And I went, what the fuck are you reacting to a 4-year-old like that for? Like tutting. Don't tut at him. Don't frown at him. Don't berate him for making a 4-year-old's mistake. You idiot. You prick.
You didn't say that.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you said that.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't go back to the train later.
Well, and I felt really bad because this is a grown woman who operates a children's train in Brockwell Park, and she, you know, who knows what her life's like.
Yeah, that's bad. But she shouldn't have kind of scowled at a child like that when her job is to do things with children.
I know, but I probably shouldn't have.
No, you shouldn't have. Stuff. But I think that you were using this kind of incident as a way to kind of, because there's lots of incidents that has happened with me on my own with the kids. And whenever I told you about them, you've been like, I wish I was there because then I would have protected you and I would have defended you and the fact that you were there this time. And I was the one to be like, did you see that she just did that to him? And then you were defending me doing that. So it was you protecting your family, which sometimes you don't get the chance to do because you're not there at the scene of the crime. Like for instance, in the lift today, the man who complains about us downstairs, lovely man, who I have threatened to call the police on a number of times.
Because he tried to break into the flat. We make a lot of noise up here because there are children running around. He says, "Can you keep it down up there?"
No, he doesn't say, "Can you keep it down?" He's.
I'm just giving them the vague backstory of why he would try to break in and why you would threaten to call the police on him. Anyway, he comes up and tries to barge his way in and doesn't.
Check there's carpet. It's like, no, there's not only carpet. We've got a mellow mat. Do you know what a mellow mat is, mate?
Yeah, it's a layer of foam that goes on the floor.
No, I know you know what a mellow mat is.
I'm telling the listener though.
Okay. A mellow mat is the best purchase I've ever made.
In case they haven't been blessed with the joys of the mellow mat.
Mellow mat really don't want publicity though, because I've tried to search mellow mat since I bought one to get another one because I shouldn't have got baby blue. We know that now.
It's not Big baby mistake. Blue anymore.
It's not baby blue anymore.
It's an adult blue.
And carpet cleaner doesn't work on a mellow mat. So once you've got it, you know, a bit dirty, you're fucked. So I should have got navy. I tried to look them up again. They don't even have an Instagram anymore. It's kind of a strange that you have to go on a website and you have to go on a website.
Yeah, well, it was only ever a money laundering thing to get rid of excess foam and coat it in that whatever that disgusting material is. So he's been up here. There are irritating irritating neighbours who have condescended to my son when I've not been there. I wish that I'd been there.
And then today in the lift
happened. Today in the lift, this neighbour was sort of sniggering at us and I didn't notice. Because
he was coming out as we were going in, and only as we went in, I was like, well, they were singing, and you're like, oh, was that him?
I don't know what he looks like. And there are various occasions. I would also say, just as we were crossing the road to get into Brockwell Park, our son just kind of mindlessly, and I've never seen him do this before, like started to run into the road. And it wasn't until your brother grabbed him and hoisted him out of the way of oncoming traffic. And that, first of all, the fact that I wasn't the one to stop him going into the road, and that like if Jamie hadn't been there, then it wouldn't have been because there was no car coming, but 10 didn't know that. Our son didn't know that, whatever. And my adrenaline and sense of protection was so up when we got in that park. I remember scanning the park thinking, right, who do I fight here? Like, what?
Really?
Yeah, I was so amped going into that park because of the need to just protect 10 from anything, who is our 4-year-old. We've sort of fucked the whole name thing. So yeah, I felt so on edge going in there because of that.
That's really good to know.
Why is that good to know?
Well, it's really,
means
it's
I
really
wasn't absolutely horrible to some
you
poor
didn't just
trained
call
woman.
a random woman a prick. No, it's good to know because of that, but it's also like that didn't faze me at all. It wasn't a dangerous road either. It was a kind of one of these.
I don't know what you.
Well, I didn't even clock that as a thing. That's really interesting. I just didn't.
It was a road. It wasn't a road like the one right outside Brockwell Park, which is a one where a bus might sometimes go. Maybe it was a road where cars were going all the time.
I know, yeah, and it would have been obviously, yeah. That would have been awful if he had, but he did kind of randomly start running, and then Jamie just protected him so quickly that I was just like, okay, fine, because that kind of thing happens all the time. Not him running into roads, but them just going out on their scooters or even just crossing roads. For some reason, our 3-year-old, can't believe he's 3. Oh my God. He's just stopped going downstairs normally. He only goes downstairs. He dances downstairs. If you hold his hand, he makes it his mission to not put his feet on the ground while you're on stairs, flinging his body around like you caught him at sea. Like he's just like... So much so that people look at us as I'm taking it downstairs and they stop and they laugh. Because, and it's like, well, you can't control anything that they do really. You can stop them running into roads. And
you must.
I know, but it didn't actually, I'm really sorry that you were feeling all that stress on your own. I didn't even.
Well, no, it's a problem that I have. And I think we've addressed this on podcast episodes previously, but my problem with playgrounds and the completely consuming, palpitating anxiety that I feel in any playground or any environment that they could get hurt. I see tragedy everywhere and it is impossible. There is no respite or escape from the visions of horror that I see. And the playgrounds just all seem to be designed with my worst nightmares in mind. No playground looks like all children survive it.
Yeah, what's it called? Risky. It's purposely risky play.
Is it?
To teach them about risk and consequences.
And
it is rare to see an accident happen at a playground, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's amazingly rare, but I always think, well, it'll be today and it'll be one of my children.
Yeah.
And I cannot get that out of my mind.
Yeah, you do kind of tense up as soon as you go in.
Shall we talk excitedly and with some regard to the future about our upcoming week?
Oh yeah, we're going on holiday.
We're going on holiday together.
We haven't been on holiday in 6 years.
We haven't been on holiday in 6 years. And we've never been on a holiday for longer than 4 days.
I think the last time we went for 5 days.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
5 days.
5 days. Maybe back on the 6th.
Yeah.
So this time we're going, for 6 days back on the 7th?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I wonder, if Mother Nature, if I know Mother Nature like she knows me, I think Mother Nature's bringing my period forward this time.
Oh, yeah?
And I think she's going to bring my thunder days.
Yeah. Is that what you're euphemistically referring to as?
My PMDD danger days.
Mm-hmm.
The suicide days.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of canals where we're going to throw yourself in.
Oh, good. Yeah, I just have this worry that they're going to fall. So I'm going to have to take my new device, my electric shock therapy.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to take that. Do you think that's going to be allowed through?
I don't know. I don't think people who work at customs are the kindest people at the best of times. So
should I explain what it is?
To the listener or to the security person at customs?
No, I'll explain to customs now so we can just play this video to her at customs. No, basically I am taking part in a study for PMDD sufferers that I found on Instagram, but it's a real thing. It's a real hospital in London. And if
Jessie loves Instagram shopping. She's found the Mellow Mat and a experimental PMDD electric shock therapy treatment.
If you think you have PMDD, what is it? Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Go search PMDD on Instagram, and one of the first accounts, which has kind of got like, it's a really brilliant resource of information about PMDD symptoms and stuff. It was like in February, they posted a thing about a study, and they need more people. They only have about 30 people like me, and they need more to get more funding. But basically, I have to monitor my thunder days for 3 months, and for the whole luteal phase, which is between the ovulation and the period coming, I have to wear the electric shock therapy for 20 minutes.
Is it monitoring you or is it treating you?
So what it's meant to do, it's not electric shock therapy, sorry. But it is.
It's not. Electric shock therapy is when somebody puts like a wooden spoon between your teeth and electrocutes you and your temples and tries to, I'm not sure what it was, but Lou Reed had electric shock therapy to try and, his parents sent him to have electric shock therapy when he told them he was bisexual.
Fucking hell. This is like an Alice band, and you put it on and you have to wear it for 20 minutes a day in the luteal phase.
What if this has the opposite effect? What if it turns you gay?
And it's meant to make you feel happier in the luteal phase, which is terrible for my mood. My luteal phase, I go kind of mental.
Yeah. Well,
like it's all fine. It's all fine.
Yeah.
I'm not mental. I'm not like don't section me.
Yeah.
But I definitely have a couple of days where I don't feel like myself.
Yes. Yes, you're like me without carbohydrate.
I could cry at anything. I could shout at anything. Unless I'm incredibly rigid about what I'm doing on those days and track when those days are happening, I can just self-destruct.
Yeah.
So if I'm not with the kids and I'm on my own, that's a danger. Like, because when I have to do stuff for the kids, I'm kind of like quite good at being able to compartmentalize and be like, I just have to do this and I have to do this. And so the whole trial is kind of there. You have to track exactly how you feel every day with a questionnaire and do 20 minutes of this thing. Anyway, it's the first, so I might have to take that to Amsterdam.
Well, that'll be great. I look forward to having a bash on it.
You can try.
Yeah, I could also use one. If they could give one to me for during your luteal phase, I think I'd like that as well to help me cope with.
Yeah, it's not just for women.
I remember like the resources that you've put me onto about PMDD have been very useful for me as well to help me understand. And I remember, I think in one of our PMD-induced contretemps, reading a lot about it and trying to understand you whilst doing some breathing exercises.
Yeah, but it's all so new to me because I've never had regular periods, and also because I've been pregnant for so long.
You have.
I've only realised a pattern in the last year. But now I think about it, it's probably been since the baby was born.
Yeah. And actually, if I scan back through various moments throughout the history of our relationship, it's probably been more present and actually helps explain a lot of moments of uncharacteristic volatility that I can remember throughout the 10 years of us
12
being together.
Almost 12.
Okay.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Our 15 years together.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I probably have got it's a chemical reaction to the progesterone and estrogen. And for some people that it just kind of short circuits something.
So is this all supposed to be, will this be cured when you have what's the difference between a perimenopause and a menopause? Tell us.
I don't know.
Okay, great.
That's the problem. I don't know anything.
Okay.
I'm getting fucking dumber because we're watching maths the whole time. Yeah. So we need to just stop now. I think perimenopause is, from around mid 40s to 50, and then from 50 onwards, you're in the kind of menopause.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like if the menopause is an erection, then like the perimenopause is like a semi-on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But all erections are kind of good.
I didn't mean, I wasn't speaking qualitatively. I was just speaking in terms of like gradations.
Can you have a bad erection? You can have a bad timed erection. Like does it feel good having an erection?
Don't know. Does it feel good having a wide on?
I don't know if that is an actual thing.
No, I don't think it is. Yes.
So
most of the time it feels good. I think morning time erections are misleading, phantoms, imposters, as they are due to the pressure of your bladder on your prostate, causing your prostate to be stimulated, but not in a sexual way. So that's where morning wood comes from or something. I don't know if I'm getting that right. But I really
don't ever want to hear that again. Morning wood. No.
Well, it is just what it's called, I suppose. But yeah, I don't really like it as an expression. If I was pressed on the matter, I would have to, join you in a negative feeling about that phrase. I've had Viagra before, and they're not always pleasant erections.
So does it hurt?
Well, the first one doesn't, but the 14th one does. But the
14th erection.
That's correct.
The 14th erection in the same night.
No. Don't get worried.
Yeah. What the what?
Yeah. Because where's that been all your life? Yeah. No. No. What I mean is, if you've taken a Viagra, then the next day, the sort of subsidiary effects of the Viagra, or the cooling down effects, I should say, of the Viagra, are intermittent erections in it was already an exhausted cock.
Right. So
those ones are a bit painful because the cock's like, if you have too much sex in a night, it can be you can get a bit of a sore cock the next day, and an erection will.
Right. So when have you had too much sex in a night then on Viagra?
Just
dates and times.
Just a couple of weeks ago now, I think.
Okay.
A couple of weeks ago.
So is the only solution to then just keep taking the Viagra then? Is that why you get addicted to things like that?
No, you don't get addicted to Viagra.
Right, okay. Okay. Really? I bet some people are addicted to Viagra.
It was originally a heart medication for healthy heart.
Do you remember when I accidentally took it?
Yes, I throughout our relationship have sometimes taken a Viagra if we've had a special night as a sort of a treat, and I put them in an empty zinc supplement bottle, and you oh, Alfie's zinc's here. Have some zinc while he's away. You were taking a daily dose of my Viagra, and it didn't do anything for you, and I thought it did.
I was breastfeeding at the time though, so I fuck over.
Who were you breastfeeding?
The little one.
Oh.
I think I only took it about 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't that many?
No. You were so worried though when you found out.
Yeah. Really weird.
Okay. I would sort of quickly talk about my experience last night doing improv for the first time on stage. Or should I correct that? Being at an improv event where I was supposed to partake in the improv, but I didn't because I was terrified. I was basically a special guest at an improv, a very reputable improv night. And
where was it?
It was at 21 Soho.
Oh, right. Lovely.
Yeah, it was quite nice. But after the week of kind of launching the OnlyFans and stuff and I was just expecting it to be hostile. I was expecting to go in and to be a group of people who just thought I was there because I was in Harry Potter and just wanted the money. And, I was just expecting them to make mean jokes about Harry Potter and OnlyFans. It couldn't have been further from what I imagined it would be. What
you were afraid it would be, I think. You didn't, you get taken away with your anxieties about what these nights could entail. I'm not sure that you necessarily, if I was going to the night, you wouldn't have expected these people to be horrible, but because you were going, you were afraid that they might be. I think that's an important distinction.
If you were doing the night.
If I was doing the night and I was worried about it, you'd say, I'm sure they'll be really nice. But because
when do I ever say that?
Well, okay, fine.
I don't have, I don't think anyone is ever going to be nice. I'm the most negative person in the world. I just assume everything is going to be awful the whole time.
Do you not think the fact
and I said that on stage last night in my improv monologue.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I said, I said, I had to basically, I didn't realize I was going to have to do an opening monologue. So I arrived and everyone was very warm and friendly. And then we did all these games to warm up. And I honestly thought I was going to vomit. I was like, I don't have to do the games. It's okay. I can sit out. And they're like, no, come in the circle. Came in the circle.
Were they American?
The main guy was. Actually, a few of them were.
Okay.
3 of them were.
Okay, great.
4 of them were.
Okay.
Anyway, 5, 6. That was improv. And had to do the games, which I just disassociated for completely. But anyway, I had to do the opening monologue and I was okay. I joked about OnlyFans and like, this has been quite a big week for me. People think I'm doing porn, but I'm actually just playing with my hair. And that was meant to give them fodder to do improv with. Right. And then I was meant to get involved, like, tap in and tap out. Tap it on, like when someone runs across the stage, that's like the end of the scene. But for the entire first bit, I was just standing at the side like this.
How many times have you performed improv?
Never. I've never ever performed improv.
Yeah.
I've improved in auditions.
Yeah, that's not improv.
Yeah, exactly.
That's improvising, but it's not improv. It's obviously it means the same thing, but there is a distinction there. Like improv is in troupe.
Yeah, troupe.
They are a different thing to just. I mean, this podcast is in a sense improvised, isn't it? Yeah.
Don't. Okay, but
and scene.
Yeah. No, and I basically then had to go on again and do another improv monologue, just talking to the audience and getting more ideas. And I basically said, I've stopped doing kind of comedy for a bit now, just because I realized that I'm a drag and I'm not a fun, I'm not a fun person, and I'm negative and miserable, and I just can't not think the worst of everybody. So I don't think it's right for me to be up on stage trying to be funny. Because they had said to me before I went on, they were like, you don't have to be funny, you don't even have to try and be funny. So I thought, fuck it, I'll test this. I'll test it. And I'll be honest. And I started talking to a man in the front row about therapy. It was really, really nice. He recommended behavioral therapy for me.
Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT.
Oh no, I don't want that. No.
That's all I want. And CBT. I want this specific woman that is apparently brilliant. But
of course you do. Because you need to have a very specific, unattainable woman to heal you, rather than just do like bog standard CBT that you could get very quickly and very quickly. Very quickly and very quickly. Because you basically delay. You're just such a perfectionist. That's a perfect example of perfectionism.
I'm sorry, but therapy is not something that you want. Like, you want to get the difference between some fucking BetterHelp droog and...
So anti my BetterHelp experience,
I'm extremely anti BetterHelp. This podcast is the only podcast not currently sponsored by BetterHelp. And no, I look, I mean, there are loads of great therapists, and I'm sure I could find one who isn't this specific person. I just know that what they say that they do and what they're interested in is very much what I want from somebody. And I have been to see in my life 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different therapists. And some of them have been better than others, but none of them have been particularly what I was after. I mean, there was a few bad experiences, and some of these are top of the range people. So it's not always a case of having the best, but when you find somebody that has written something that chimes with what you feel like you would need from this extremely personal relationship that you need, that is amazing for so many people to acquire, when they find the right person for them, it helps them. And it's not like what are the chances that you meet the right therapist for you on the first time out with your therapist? I was just excited by the idea of this particular person, and they wanted a referral. And then you've got to go to your GP, and then they've got to, they don't see you for it. You've got to fill in a form online. You go, well, yeah, but I need CBT to be able to organise all of this.
The GP and gone and
I did ring the GP, and they said, can you fill out this form? We'll text you. Anyway.
But you could have.
Yeah, I know. Of course it's my fault. Of course it's my fault. I'm just saying that, all of this stuff I don't actually, the going to the CBT at all.
Yeah. I can't do the CBT thing. Anyway.
Why not?
Because it involves too much kind of breathe in and breathe out.
I'm not sure that's... Anyway, I think you'd be brilliant at improv, and you have a very funny improv section in your last show that you did in Edinburgh, which was, of course, not improv, but was skewering improv in a very friendly and kind way. And you were actually more skewering yourself through the prism of improv.
And it grew as well. So I did get braver. But I actually had to talk to audience members last night, and I wasn't bad at it, which was really thrilling. It was basically a very self-indulgent evening for me, because it was loads of people allowing me to fail on stage and to be really vulnerable. And then they did this thing kind of halfway through where we just chatted on stage, and they asked me some questions. And
the crowd or the improv?
The improv troupe. And then they used that chat to then go and do some more improv. And basically everything I thought it would be, it wasn't. And I'm not saying, I want to do improv now. Definitely not. But
I think you should.
Well, but it's more that I'm really glad that I put myself in a social situation that was terrifying to me, and a performance situation that was terrifying to me. And I was brave to do it and make some money in a different way. And I'm glad.
Really brave. And I mean, it's not even, that's an extraordinary thing for you to have done specifically, I think.
I did it.
And it's not even like you did something outside of your comfort zone. I would say that you did something like in your discomfort zone. I was shaking. And then when they were tapping in and tapping out, I honestly was gripping the wall. And everyone was just watching, because they stand there when they're, waiting to go on. Proper RADA trained type physiques, just ready. And I was like, yes, low body fat and very flexible.
Yeah, just more the confident performer stature. I'm ready to perform. I'm ready to be watched and seen. And whereas I'm like, don't look at me, but I'm here. But yeah, I think it's that's it. So yeah, I feel quite incentivized by it. Not to become an improv star, but just to try and find pleasure in that discomfort slightly, which is what you've always gone on about.
Yes. You have to learn how to love your torment.
Yeah. So that's good.
It's really good. And I think there's a lot of that. You've been doing more of that on stage anyway. And the last show featured moments of that. I think in your last show, it's almost like you became too confident to get away with your old style of performance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
And you were too comfortable on stage to do the old thing, but not confident enough to do something else. So you're trying to find a new way to be on stage at the moment. And I think...
Well, it's weird because it's almost exactly like the dilemma of social media.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I could go on doing kind of a very nervous, geeky, unrequited love, scorned lover character, which I've done for so long. Or I can kind of be this new me, which is kind of like secure, older, happy,
muscle mummy,
happier, you know, in love. I just know myself more.
You're an adult.
I've grown up and I'm ready to kind of talk frankly, and that doesn't. Yeah, they just don't. I can't mix them up, those two people. And so starting the OnlyFans is definitely a start of, right, okay, I'm doing something that is me. This is me, what you're seeing. Well, what you'll see. And I forgot what I was going to say.
I certainly feel encouraged to shed a skin right now.
Yeah, I'm shedding skin.
And I think that's why I'm quite keen to maybe, you know, lose a bit of weight. I try new things on stage.
Get a mullet.
My hair. I don't want to get a mullet. I'm not going to get or as our son calls it, a mullet. Or with a real like defiant, fuck you, no, that's what it's called. Mullet. It's not called a mullet. We will be back next week. We will tell you all about what life was like in Amsterdam.
Or maybe we'll have been detained in Amsterdam because of my electric shock therapy.
Maybe Jesse's luteal phase will have flung her in a canal. And
what fight did they have in a hotel room in Amsterdam? You decide.
Yes. Let's choose.
Was it because Alfie bought the Viagra and Jessie was offended? Was it because Jessie...
should I bring the Viagra?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
We're going to do mushroom?
The last time we tried Viagra,
yeah,
we had a pizza.
Last time we had a Viagra, we had a fight. So I was just sitting there going, right now she's having a go at me.
It's always a hotel room. It's always a hotel room. And it's always, there's been something that's just not been quite the normal routine. And it throws me. And then there's an explosion.
I don't want to be here in Amsterdam.
We basically went to pizza.
That's what I'm going to hear. I wonder what day I'm going to hear that on. I don't want to be here. I want to be with the kids.
I'm already missing them.
Well, they're in the other room. So that's needless.
But it's just... I'm trying really, really hard to just focus on us, but I am going to miss them. Sorry. Mm-hmm. But I'm also really excited about all the Viagra.
Okay.
But we had just gone to Pizza East and you took a Viagra and you were so full that you didn't want to do anything. And then I was just fucking angry and pregnant. Of course.
Obviously.
And I was just like, well, then why are we in a hotel room then?
Yeah.
Why are we here?
So let's go and watch Yellow Jackets, you and me. Tune in next week to find out how this all went down. I'd like to say a special hello to our listeners, the hundreds of listeners we have in Germany and France.
Big time Harry Potter fans.
Are they?
Yeah.
In Germany and France.
They don't mind that I was only on screen for 4 minutes.
You were on screen for longer than that.
No, they've added it up. My haters.
4 minutes?
Apparently. Yeah, 4 minutes.
But you're one of the main parts in that film.
Yeah, but a film is different, isn't it? Because dialogue is, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. We're very grateful. And please join us to see how we get on in Amsterdam.
This was Before We Break Up Again.